Are you just gonna sing the DuckTales theme? Alright.
Fluff tails.
Woo! Oh no, I have chat coming up behind your head. That's fine. That can stay there.
It's just spawning out of my skull.
It's the only thoughts that you have. They prob drank. Who says that we drank?
How did you know?
Shut up.
Are you the Goku in the back of the car?
Bro, leave the Goku, the nightmare fuel Goku in the back of the car. Leave that alone. Keep that out. No, listen, we had Korean barbecue. That's all we had. Oh, and he backed me, and then we have ice cream now.
I am eating ice cream.
Oh my god, Omega got a golden... Fuck. Echo's got 2 golden wish carrots. That's crazy.
Merry Chrysler.
Mary Chrysler. I have ice cream.
How are you gonna talk into the mic with the ice cream in your mouth?
My bad. I'm sorry. I have to move your chat from behind your head.
Fluff tails.
Ooh. I'm all powerful. You don't know shit, alright? You fucking gave us shit for our grill. We didn't do anything.
Yeah, like I took a shit on the grill. Come
on. No, please don't take a shit on the grill. I beg of you.
Thinking about it.
You're thinking about... How are you gonna tell me not to eat with my mouth full and then you fucking do the same shit?
Because I forgot to mute.
That's crazy. Echo, why do you think you're all powerful? I disagree. Respectfully.
I disagree disrespectfully.
That's crazy. Can you, like, ooh-woo with the same size eyes?
Ooh-woo?
Either both big or both small. You have 2 options.
Oh, whoa?
I can simply use my wish to tell you to end stream. That'd be crazy.
You literally can't. But that's a nice try, though.
That's too overpowered.
Go to jail. Do not collect $10.
7.
Do not collect $7.
I'm not gonna lie, this ice cream kind of tastes funny.
It's because you already have, like, 75 different flavors on your tongue and shit. Like, come on.
Is it because of the meat?
Together.
Is it because of the meat?
No, it's because of the soju.
No, we didn't drink! Did you miss the part?
Who are you gaslighting?
Did you miss the part where we said that we didn't drink? Also, you're not in the chair. There we go.
Whose fault is that?
I put you in the chair now. You're in the chair. You're standing on it. You're slightly at the right size. You got a big head.
What if I just send you the model art of my male version?
actually, can you send me a transparent version of that? Well, just change your Fugi. Yeah. Just make it transparent. Change your Fugi.
Can I change my Fugi?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. That's not how you spell that.
Oh my god, it'll be like I'm on a hot date. At least then somebody will date me.
My god.
What? What do you want from me?
No, I'm trying to read. Sorry.
Guys, she doesn't know how to read.
That's not the transparent one. It's not the transparent one.
Why are you struggling?
Because I used it.
Yeah, I need to make it your Fugi so I can be on a date with a hot bar titty man.
Alright.
One day I'll get my hot man art.
Mm-hmm. You will.
Do you not want to see me as a hot man?
It's really hard to picture.
Me as a hot man?
I'm trying to think about what they're gonna do about your outfit. Like, are they just gonna keep you in a maid
fit? I hope that they just give me a fucking titty window as a man.
Yeah, like
really, you just have to do that. Wait.
Like, that's what I think is gonna happen, because I'm just like, what are they gonna do?
Hold on. I'm gonna make it... Hold on. Hot men wear... Toki, you're the hot man first. Hold on, I gotta change this, and then I gotta get blurp.
Blurp.
I don't have blurp on this overlay, so Echo kind of just wasted his points, unfortunately.
Good job.
I'll refund it.
Don't refund it. You have to learn your lesson somehow.
It's my fault. I'll play it. I'll play it. Is he yelling at me? Me waiting for my new hot man. Dude, Toki, you gotta tell. You're always awake with.
Yeah, Toki got another one.
Wait, Toki, you got another hot man? Hold on. I gotta make the hot man.
Yeah, Toki got another one.
Yes! Look at him! Oh my god. Guys.
Wait, that's funny. Wait, make me bigger. Like, my head is not as big as your head. My head's tiny.
Oh my god. Your titties are gonna be as big as mine, dude.
Okay. It's all for my... Yeah, you're awake. Honestly, I was so surprised that when I got them, because they were, like, in the middle of the day. It was so random.
It was the middle of the day, but I didn't manage to get it because I'd never submitted a skeb before. So...
She wasn't prepared,
I wasn't prepared for my first skeb.
Lazy.
I know. You didn't prepare me. You guys didn't prepare me
Sure,
enough.
it's my fault.
It is.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. Blame me.
No, it's not just you. I also blame Toki. You guys have equal blame.
Toki was working.
I was working.
What do you want from her?
You know what? You're right. 100% of the blame goes to you. You should have had it figured out. This is your fault.
Oh. Are
Me? Blame Watashi?
Watashi wa sta.
Kira.
Kira.
Watashi wa sta. Anyways, hi Toki. I don't blame you for anything. Toki, you're perfect. You could never do anything wrong. Except forget that I wanted one of Norn's plushies. Get me that. She was supposed to remember.
Yeah. It wasn't my fault. I didn't know.
The skeb's your fault, though.
No, I don't think it was.
I think it was. Anyways.
Because I told you.
Okay, anyways, you didn't prepare me enough for a skeb. Okay. Anyways, guys, welcome to the first episode of our podcast. We've been talking about it for like 4 months now. But we're finally here.
Fluff tails. Ooh.
Oni came up with the name.
I just had a DuckTales obsession.
I came up with the tagline.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the tagline? My category says Subterror? No. What the fuck? It should not say Subterror. Like how Echo's like, I'm waiting for Subterror. Just chat. What? Just chatting. Is it updated? Is it updated? Did I fix it? Am I stupid? I'm stupid. Okay, well, I typed it in at the beginning, so that's not my fault.
You didn't hit save.
I hit done. Is that not save? There's no save button. I don't know how OBS works. Who trusted me with this? I don't know why.
On my thing, it says just chatting. And it says Bun and Tanuki. Do a backflip.
I definitely don't do those anymore. It's been like 20 years since I did one of those. Anyways. Do you remember our tagline, Oni?
Doing crime without doing time.
That's not our
Criminals
tagline.
on the run.
That's not our tagline.
We'll steal your carrots and your hearts.
That's still
something
not,
like that.
That's still not the tagline. The tagline was 50% fluff, 50% felony.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you not hear me?
Chat, who do you believe?
My bad.
The Tanuki, who's a con artist, or me?
No, believe me. I'm sexy. Look at me. Look at me.
That's crazy to me.
I'm a hot, sexy man.
But believe me, I'm hot and sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe me. Toki, send me a transparent picture of your hot bar, man. I'll put you in the background.
Like she's like out in the field or something.
Yeah, she's gonna be out in the field. Sorry, he's gonna be out in the field. Hi, Ardent. I'm really not liking this ice cream. This ice cream kind of sucks. Mine is like more of a twink. You know? He can be a twink out in the field.
He's frolicking in the fields.
Yeah. Bro, why are your hands so big, Oni?
You know what they say about big hands.
Fucking yowie. That's what they say. Fucking yowie hands. You got literally yowie hands. Big gloves.
Big gloves. Thank you.
I don't really want my ice cream anymore. It tastes funny.
Put it away.
But that means I have to get up. Can I put it in my fridge next to me and it'll stay... You know what? I'm putting it in the fridge. If it goes bad, then that's not my problem. Kind of is, but...
I would say it's literally only your problem.
Unless I make it your problem.
What are you going to do? Put your fridge in here? Be a crazy move and you never see your fridge again.
This fridge is like $700 right now. So please don't...
You better not put it in here.
I'm not. Don't take my fridge. Guys, if y'all see a Juggernog fridge...
Poll right now. Should I take...
Echo, can you
Should I take as his fridge?
Echo, can you put in a poll? That'd be cool. Please, Echo. I'll give you $7 to put the poll. He's probably like, I'm not dealing with the two of them.
He's dipped, bro.
A poll for whether or not Oni should take my fridge. He's playing Yakuza.
That was one of the songs we sang at karaoke.
Yakuza?
Dame, dame. Dame, yo. Dame, dame.
I've sent the PNG. Yes. Toki. Oh my. You are actually confirmed. You are definitely a twink. Alright, hold on. I gotta put Toki in the background.
I'm looking.
Alright, there's Toki. Y'all, this is Toki. Toki's my twink boyfriend. Just gonna be chilling back there.
What do you mean? Toki and I are in a yaoi together.
Yeah, I'm the side piece.
What? Toe Goblin Oni.
Huh? Wait. What is this poll? What did you put? Should the Toe Goblin Oni have the goodie fridge? Yes, 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 nah. Fuck you guys. What a
I clicked yes with the 3 exclamation points.
I hit nah. Who also hit yes? Fuck you guys. That's crazy.
Look. Just get you a glucose guardian.
What is a glucose?
Who can?
What is a glucose guardian?
Glucose guardian? To buy you another fridge. So easy.
Oh. Yeah, but this is the Juggernog fridge from Call of Duty. Why would I want to get rid of that? It's a cool fridge.
No, just get him to get you another one.
Let's go, Glucose Guardian. Who wants to sign up to be my Glucose Guardian? Can't I get like a Splenda Daddy? I have diabetes.
Sweet and low lad.
Not the sweet and low lad. I'm okay
Sweet
with that.
low lad.
I'm alright with that. I accept. I just need applicants.
Set up a Google form, bro.
Did you say a Google farm?
Google form?
Oh, form. I was like, a Google farm? What am I doing with that? I'm not doing that.
Google form. You have to give you at least $700 per month.
I mean, sure. Isn't who's willing to give me $700 per month for what?
But in exchange,
what do I have to provide in exchange?
Just pictures of carrots, like real carrots from like a garden or something.
Okay, sure. Ez is looking for a fructose father. I'm okay with any of these names. Whatever you want to pick. You can pick any of them. I accept. I'm not gonna say no.
So long as it's not a sucrose senior, I'm good.
Yeah, because I don't want that. I don't want that either. Sucrose Senior. Will you get my ice cream for me?
I knew you were gonna ask.
Please. Will you get my? It's in the top of the mini fridge. Yeah. Open the fridge. Do you know how to open it? No. You gotta dig your nails in it.
And this?
Yeah, dig your nails in the. There's a.
Is this plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
That shit was not gonna keep this. It's like watering.
Listen, shut the fuck up. I was too lazy to get up and take.
Ice cream soup.
Soup is good. We had soup today. Anyways, chat, I convinced her to take it for me. She takes care of me. I'm gonna be really sad when she moves out. I need someone else to move in, please. Okay, but like, if they're a senior, make sure you're on that will. You never know what'll happen. I'm not trying to kill somebody. Okay, she's gonna kill them, I guess. All right. Okay. Just know that if you're over the age of, what's a senior? 65. You're either rejected or Oni will kill you after I get on your will. So just keep that in mind if you're over the age of 65 and trying to become a fructose father. Oh, Jesus, she's behind me. Hi, baby. I don't know why you're on the bed. Okay. That's not the bed. That's a desk.
It's definitely not the bed.
Hi, Chihiro. Okay, well, I have Chihiro now. She's on the desk with me. Anyways, stop licking. Hey. Are you back at your desk yet?
I like every time I look, I just see Toki in the back.
Yeah,
Like, hello?
Toki is hanging out. Toki's just vibing, being a little guy. Look at him. He's so sassy back there.
He's like, hey. He looks like he's gonna rob you, actually.
I mean, do I put him behind
Like,
you?
hey, give me all your money.
Should I put him behind you?
I
There
like
we go.
looking at him.
There we go.
I got the bunnies on the same side of the screen, bro.
Okay. You're telling me that Toki can't be behind the Tanuki? Okay, Chihiro, you
Segregation.
can't... Sure. Anyways.
Oh. There's like a single leaf right in front of his... Hey, yes, one. The fridge is mine.
You can't have my fridge. It's like, you have to give me $700 for it.
Thank you, chat.
No, fuck that. Literally, it was you and I think probably Toki who voted yes. Or Echo. I don't know.
But then there's 3 yeses.
There's only 2 yeses.
No, there's 2 yeses with the exclamation points, and then there's a single regular yes.
Fuck. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Chihiro, quit licking my face, child.
Chihiro.
Hey, look at me. Can you stop licking? Thank you. Anyway,
No.
if you need me, scream. Okay.
Who's screaming?
I'm screaming if we need him. He has us turned. That means he has us turned down just enough to where if I actually scream for him, that's when he'll hear us.
All right.
I appreciate the effort. Anyways, we're here to talk about for our first episode something we've been talking about for the last like 6 months, 4 months. I don't know, an amount of months. Fucking Arcane.
Since it came out, okay, pretty much. At least the second season.
Since the second season came out, not the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about Arcane and our thoughts and what is some people would consider hot takes, but we consider the correct. I can hear normally.
I thought we were talking about Arcane this round.
I don't. Okay, you literally said at the grocery store. I thought we were talking about Arcane, and I was like, we should talk about
relevant.
I did not say. I said relevant. You just have soju in your ears, so you.
That relevant.
Yeah, guys, Oni drinks her soju by pouring it in her ears. She does not drink it by pouring it in her mouth. I don't know if y'all can hear Chihiro panting, but good lord. Alice, thank you for the sub. I can hear her. Oh, please stop, child. My sweet, sweet child. Quit it! I need to... That Twitch alert was really small. And I don't remember what source is my alerts.
That's crazy. Someone should do something about that.
That's crazy. Not me. I'm looking. I found it. I think I found it. I think this is it. We're going to make that bigger. We're going to hope the next time I get a follower or a sub, it'll be fine.
Atlas, you're a real one, bud.
Anyways, Atlas, thank you. Okay, so are we talking about the other thing?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Fluff tails. Ooh.
I want to record you singing that, so that way every single time we start this podcast, it's gonna be you.
Oh, you can just...
I can just play it.
Fluff tails.
Yeah.
Fun girl and Tanuki doing fluff tails. Ooh. Can you get off my desk, please?
No.
You can literally get off the desk. How? Seriously.
It's me. I'm on your desk.
He's so big, he literally tilted it forward. I was like, holy.
My cats are fat. I don't know what to tell you.
He's a chonky boy.
I'm so sorry.
Also, don't you want to wait till after the ad to start talking? That'd be so frick.
That's kind of... That's kind of why I shut the fuck up. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so
please stand by for some words from our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Oni Cake. Oni Cake is a small business based in Dallas, Texas, run by a friend and her best friend. One is the artist and the other one answers all the emails because the other one is too autistic to read. We really appreciate every bit of business that we do. Thank you for following us and supporting us on Twitch, Shopify, Twitter, Instagram, wherever there is social media.
Don't look at our TikTok. We are probably
there. Please don't look at our TikTok. I haven't updated it.
The last
you can still follow us if you want to, just to support. All support is appreciated. You are very much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Also want to say, please support us so that way she can get a bar so she can join me and also be a sexy man.
We love the sexy men.
Yeah. This voice coming out of this character must be so funny.
Time to check your TikTok. No! We have ideas. We just haven't filmed them. The last thing I filmed, I think, was the shrimp being naked.
Oh, yeah, I think that is the last video.
I think the last thing that I think that's the last thing I posted was naked shrimp. Why you naked?
I like that Toki's face is right behind.
Yeah.
And, like, Toki's in my armpit, bro.
Yeah, that's where I hid Toki. Toki was creeping. Toki was just creeping in the corner.
I just like looked and just saw like one eye peeking out.
No, that's fine. He's just, you know, vibing. Do y'all want a better look at Toki? Look at him. Look at that man. Gorgeous. Wood. Hold up. Can we do Hear Me Out cake? I'm putting Toki on my cake.
You're putting Bara Toki on your cake.
I'd like to put Bara Toki on my Hear Me Out cake. Thank you so much for coming to my Hear Me Out cake stream. Anyways, don't check the TikTok.
That was it? There was just one person on there?
There's three things. There's Toki, Bara Toki, Bara Oni. Wait, hold on. There's more. Bara Semi, and a Xenomorph. There you go. 4 things.
All right.
You have a problem with my list?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you don't have a problem with it, then we're good.
No problem. No problem at all.
I need Bara Semi. He needs to be in the background too.
He's somewhere. I think he's streaming right now, so he probably won't respond any.
Damn. All right, that's fine. Anyways, we're here to talk about April. Is that now that we're back?
The worst month ever.
Oh, by the way, ads weren't rolling.
Oh.
That was the warning for ads.
So now they're
rolling. Ads are rolling.
Well, I was just saying you don't want to talk about it right as it's about to happen.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, Gwen. Hello, Gwen. Did you say Gwyneth?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
That he's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Did you say Gwyneth Paltrow is not full of vegan anymore?
Is she still selling her, what was it? Was it a candle?
Her Punani candle?
Her Punani candle.
No.
Oh, yeah. I don't think she's selling that anymore. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
Oni. That's crazy.
Right in front of my salad?
Right in front of our podcast? That's crazy. Chihiro, don't try to lick me. I'm working. Mom's working.
Mom never has time for me anymore.
I always have time for all of my children. When did you become a child? When did you become my child?
You can't see my face, but I'm doing that like face where the cat's like straight face and he's just looking like. Bleh.
Alice, you're not dead. You're not allowed to die. It's a play death.
Yeah, it's like you're playing hide and seek and then you go missing and the entire neighborhood is looking for you and you're just under the bed.
That's wow, weirdly specific, Oni. What'd you pull that inspiration from?
You know, just my imagination.
Oh yeah, your imagination. Yeah, not the actual real life child that went missing on Sunday. Don't worry, guys. We found him. It's fine. We found him.
He was under his own bed in his house, safe and sound.
You know, Grandma beat Grandpa after that. You left your.
Yeah.
Oh no, Echo.
Amazing.
I can't check.
Right.
I can't check. I'll check it later.
Na, 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 na. Fluff tails. Ooh. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm here. I'm Oni. We're with Ezenal Darson, aka Ez, and we're going to talk about the month of April, which was absolutely insane if you are on Twitter in any capacity.
As you should be.
I mean, which, you know, maybe don't be chronically online, but if you could be online just a little bit, you probably saw some, you know, whisper of what happened in the VTuber community on Twitter.
There was like at least 7 different things that happened in the month of April that were just bad.
The saddest one, honestly, being Gargura graduating.
Gura graduating was kind of expected. Like,
I cried.
To be fair, a lot of people cried. Like, her graduating was kind of expected based off of the, like, trajectory of HoloLive. But it was still really sad. Like, we more or less had a heads up. Like, we had a whole week. As soon as she said there's an announcement, we kind of knew what was happening.
Yeah, she was like, there's an announcement. Everyone was like, oh, haha. Wait.
Not funny ha-has anymore.
For real. Yeah, and then it was very like, oh, okay. So, like, yeah. To be fair, it makes sense. And I'm very happy that she's, you know, going to, I guess, go indie or at least, you know, take a break, hopefully.
I'm hoping she takes a break, but if she comes back, which I think she's going to, she's not going to be corporate.
Yeah, because her side account has been active, so I assume she's coming back.
Yeah, I think
it's a big assumption. It's a big hope.
I think the only sad part is for a lot of fans of any particular character within the HoloLive sphere, for anyone who doesn't know somehow what graduating means. There we go. See, okay. So to explain to explain graduation in the VTuber sphere, it's where you're basically moving on from that character, whether you intend to come back to streaming or want to do like something else within the streaming. You're leaving that character behind and you're saying, hey, I have now graduated out of this character. I will not be returning to it. So when HoloLive first started, they kind of like had these contracts for not just the content creator, but also for the character. Like, they own the rights to the character, and it's what gives them the merch rights and all those different things. So when they decide to part ways with that person, or the person parts ways themselves, they can't take that character with them unless, for whatever reason, the corporation says, you can keep your character.
Which, like, literally never happens.
Yeah, because, like, they have the ability now, not that it would be successful, nor do I think that they'd be stupid enough, honestly, to do this. They have the ability now to say, okay, Gargura's gone. We're going to get another character to fill the role.
Well, it's not even another character. We're going to keep Gargura, and we're just going to get someone else to basically voice and stream in their place, which would be insane. Like, if they ever did that, I think there would actually be a riot. Like, no, it would not work.
Yeah, so it's kind of like in the aspect of, yeah, so same character, different actor, kind of like that. But the thing is that it would, where people have like their issues where they recast somebody, whether it's due to creative differences or someone dying, like the original Dumbledore to the second Dumbledore.
This would be recasting Black Panther, okay? It simply doesn't work.
Which is why, like, Marvel took and Disney took the path that they took of saying, hey, you know what? Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther. Nobody else can fill that role, even though we know about the cinematic universe and the multiverse and all of that. No one can fill that role, especially with surrounding, like, the reasoning and the kind of, I guess, the story behind his death. The same thing would be for Gargara. If somebody, like, hypothetically, Oni or myself were like, yeah, we took a job, we're the new Gargara, nobody would like us. Like, nobody would want to watch and still absorb that character. Because, yeah, like she was Gargara for 5 years?
Yeah, since 2019.
Yeah, 5-6 years. She was that character. And so, like, she is Gargara.
So yeah, you're right. The legacy is too precious to disrupt. You
that's
can't
actually a
just
really good way
put
to put
someone
it.
else in. Yeah.
Yeah, no one else would be able to fill that role. And if HoloLive decided to pursue that, HoloLive would probably have pitchforks at their door. Like, people would not be happy with it. How the land speed record by that one guy that no one wants to break. Which guy are you talking about?
You talking about Usain Bolt?
There's a movie? Please find it, because I'm curious. But yeah, I think that was the first biggest shock that happened this month. Because, like, I remember seeing all the tweets of people being like, oh god, it's happening. And Oni and I just kind of looked at each other. We're like, she's graduating. Like, it's the way that she worded it.
You had the picture with the white background.
Yeah.
She's looking out into the horizon. This, like, notify me thing on YouTube. It's like you can sit in the waiting room. Everyone in the waiting room was like, it's happening, isn't it? Like, she's on her way out. And I mean, freaking Mume just also announced her graduation. Well, she did graduate. She graduated before.
She graduated the other
They
day.
basically, like, tagged in and said, cool. So now it's, your turn, Gura. Go ahead. They graduated, like, one right after the other. Ike announced their graduation. They don't even do, like, a final stream. Like, their graduation is literally
their graduation
so abrupt.
is just done.
And the rest of their, like, generation didn't even know. They found out at the same time as everyone else.
Which is weird to me. That feels like there was some type of immediate decision to be like, okay, we're done. It's time to move on. And I think that that's really tough because you're not giving the fan base enough time to, like, get ready to mourn.
To react. Yeah. And then Madara is also departing from VShojo.
Yeah. That one I think is really tough. But at least, like, the difference between Gar and Madara is that Gar doesn't get to keep her character and she'll have to come back as a new one. Whereas Madara at least has an amicable parting with VShojo. Whatever it is that is private, whatever is happening between them. She gets to continue to be Madara and she gets to continue to hang out with the girls and Kuro and, like, still have those relationships and that friendship. And I think that it's tough being, I think, corporate. Corporate comes with a lot more rules and regulations versus being an indie content creator. And Burt Monroe, the world's fastest Indian, I have never heard of that person before.
I'll have to take your word for that one.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll look it up after this, but yeah.
Also, Lethal, I cannot redeem Daily Carrot for you. I'm sorry. I think that, like, that's kind of the tough thing of choosing to go, like, corpo VTuber is the strict limitations that get put on you. And it's the same thing as from what I've seen over the years of going to conventions, even just, like, voice actors. Like, I think that you see a lot of, like, voice actors and regular actors that go to, like, these Comic Cons and these fan expos. I think that it's tough because I've seen so many, especially in the last, I'd say 6-7 years since just before COVID. I remember, you used to be able to go and be like, oh, can I get a selfie? And they'd be like, yeah, of course, free selfie, done deal. Like, you don't have to pay anything.
Now it's like, that'll be $60.
Yeah, like, it's so much more expensive, but it's not, like, at the end of the day, because I spoke with, who was it? I want to say I was talking with one of the, oh, goodness, it's the lead actress for iZombie. She's been in a couple different things, but I ended up talking with her for a minute. She was like, well, it's not necessarily me, it's my agent. My agent requires that I charge this fee. So it's the same concept with, like, indie versus corporate VTubers. Corporate VTubers don't have as much freedom, and they have to kind of abide by certain rules and laws. And I think HoloLive is, like, the furthest part of corporate, whereas VShojo's like a step between indie and corporate. They're not as strict. So I think that, like, with this, Madara gets to at least give more to her community than she's probably been able to or wanted to. So I think that's good at least.
I mean, it's a win.
Yeah. I think that, like, being stuck behind a contract makes it tough. And that's kind of the good part, though, is that when she announced it, and VShojo also announced it at the same time, and her graduation's what? Or not her graduation, but her contract ending is, like, I think
May 2nd.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So,
yeah. Her contract ending, she's already stated, like, I can still hang out with the girls and Kuro. Can't leave Kuro out. And she's still, like, doing all of her collabs with them. Yeah, it depends on the fine print of the contract. Definitely, in any type of legal situation, whether it's content creation or whatever, read the fine print of your contracts. Get a lawyer. Make sure people are looking through that. Make sure you're reading through it. Hi, Andrew. I think that that's kind of the tough part, is a lot of people don't read what they sign. And you really should.
Well, I mean, even if they do, I think that there is, like, some good side, like, positive sides, obviously, to being a corporate, to where they probably think, like, oh, I won't mind this. And then when it really comes down to the nitty gritty, you're like, oh, this actually is more of a problem than I thought it would be. Like, even with, I won't say her name, but when she graduated, she literally was like, yeah, I had, like, songs, and there was, like, these weird copyright issues. They wouldn't let me release the song. And I was just like, yeah, like, some stuff, I think that it seems like, oh, that won't be an issue. That'll never come up. And then it's like, your company just says, you know, F you, and you don't get to make the content that you want. You don't get to connect with the fans and keep promises, you know, that you, like, set out and you thought would be fine. And it really sets the fans up, and it sets the talent up to, you know, sort of disappoint them in a way that's not really fair to anybody.
Yeah, I think that you kind of have to make sure that you're aligning with a company that has the same ideals as you for what you want for yourself, but also for your community, especially when it comes to content creation. We wouldn't be anywhere without the fans and the people that support us. So it's like, especially for the really big names like that, whether it's Mint, Madara, Kuro, Iron Mouse, like, they are very talented and creative people, but obviously, like, you don't get to the point of that without having that fan base to support you. And so you want to make sure that you're still providing kind of what they want to see while still maintaining, like, your own sense of self. Like, don't only do what other people want. But if you have a corporation that you're signing a contract with and they don't align with your ideals or what your fan base wants, then it can not really work out.
But at the same time, mad respect. Get that bag.
Oh, yeah,
if
100%.
They offer you a crazy contract, just stick it out for a few years and come back, you know?
I think that's, like, my biggest thing. Like, for me, with VTubers becoming as big as they have in the last couple of years, the last 5 years, I think that signing along with a company is not a bad thing. Like, absolutely do it. Get your bag's worth, get that coin, like, whatever it is, do it. But make sure, at least, I feel like creators need to make sure that they still own the rights to their character and their sense of self, because if you part ways, you don't want to sit here and part ways and they go, okay, your model's mine. You never get to be her again. Because that's tough. You kind of get attached a little bit to your models and your characters. Hi, Eggy. Nice to meet you. You definitely don't want to give any of that up. And I think that even aligning with, like, partnering or affiliate, because I remember Oni and I talked about it the other day. Smitty is a content creator I have watched for years. He is so funny. I've always loved watching him on YouTube and everything. And when he signed on with Gamersups, he was like, yeah, like, I have a code, I have a flavor, like, go get my stuff. And then he became partial owner, and he has, like, he has shares within the company now. And the amount of people that I saw on Twitter giving him so much shit when he announced it, he was like, I'm getting my bag's worth. I've worked hard. I'm not, and someone was like, you're a sellout. He's like, I'm not selling out. I've been supporting
Also, he
this
already
company for
had
years.
a partnership with
Yes,
them. So
yeah.
it's kind of weird to be like, hey,
Yeah.
this company that you've been working with for years now, yeah, you're selling out. It's like
Which was crazy.
He's already been working
I
with them.
think
Like,
at that point
where
he
have you
had...
been?
Oh, hi. I don't need to listen to that, Siri. I think that he had, like, 2 flavors by that point. I think he has 2 flavors with Gamersups.
If you had a Gamersups flavor, what would you call it?
Me? Oh,
yeah,
God.
there's only one right answer, by the way.
Oh, fuck. Appy juice.
No, Energizer Bunny. Get it together,
Oh,
bro.
God. Energizer Bunny would be so good. All right,
Just
guys.
like, there's literally only one right answer. It's right there.
I'm sorry. Well, copyright, though. I can't
You
get
probably
in
have
trouble.
to come up with something like funny, you know, something punny.
Yeah, I need something
Make it
funny.
funny.
Guys, new life goal.
Energizer Benoy.
Benoy. New life goal, guys. I want to get a flavor with Gamersups, and it's Energizer Benoy. Let's go. I need it to be like something electrifying.
We can get you some drums.
Some drums?
You could just do like electric apple.
The copyright would take your knees out in a minute. Yeah, listen. Oni and I, we're no strangers to copyright. Not that we've gotten in trouble, but both Oni and I
we're
come...
familiar with that side of the industry enough to,
we come
you know.
from a background of understanding the licensing industry, so we always find it a little comical when people get upset when they get in trouble for making art for, like, Pokemon and stuff like that. Guys, just don't go after Nintendo. They will take your kneecaps.
They'll take your kneecaps, they'll take your house, your spouse, your dogs.
It's gonna be a country song.
Yeah.
They're taking your truck, they're taking your dog, they're taking your wife and your ex-wife.
Your wife, your ex-wife, the only thing you have left is a pack of beer, bro, and your cowboy hat.
Bro, they might take your mom from you. They're gonna take your grandma. It's done. They're taking your
my
like
mom,
great-grandchildren.
my dad, my grandma, my wife, my house. Everything's gone, but at least I got that one Nintendo Kickstarter. You'll be so fucked. Don't do it. Anyway.
Do it.
It like suddenly turns into like a PSA.
Yeah, it's just a really like corny country song. People are like, what the fuck? And it's like, PSA, don't go after Nintendo. They will take all of that from you and more.
Nintendo has more legal power.
Oh, dude. I mean,
the United States government.
I will say, I'm surprised that they never got away with actually getting Pal World taken down. Genuinely surprised.
I think they won like part of it.
They won part of it, but the
like,
part that they
the
lost,
where they directly ripped stuff out of the game, like the models they took out of the game. I think they got dinged for that. But they're like, you guys can't just own all monsters.
Well, I think they were trying.
Monsters.
They were trying to do copyright for like Pokeballs, like in a capturing device, and they were like, we're not the only ones who did that. We weren't the first, you weren't the first. There's also plenty of other instances, and they I think pulled Digimon as a reference and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's called a butterfly net. Have you heard of it? A terrarium. Have you seen it? An
Animal Crossing has it. Animal Crossing. Well, wait, that's Nintendo. Fuck. Never mind.
Gives Nintendo example. Wrong.
Listen, I know what I'm doing, all right? I know what I'm doing.
Try again.
They also, hi, Robin! Perfect timing! Distracted.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, nothing happened. But yeah, April was crazy. So we've talked about Madara. We talked about
all the graduations, unfortunate.
Gargura. Was Nini in April or was that March?
That was March.
Okay.
Well, so like, I mean, the graduation happened, I think, in April. But I think the announcement was in March.
All right, so we'll
Am I
count.
crazy? April's warping my brain, bro.
Dude,
I don't know where I am
April
when
be
it is.
April be lasting too long.
Who are you?
I don't know. I've lost all concept. Who's that guy behind me?
That's my boyfriend.
What? What you mean that's your boyfriend? Toki! Who are you dating, me or Oni?
I'm about to be Mrs. Toki.
You're a man right now.
Don't discriminate.
You have bara titties.
Exactly.
All right. Anyways, so the biggest news for VTubers in April. Oni.
Cinder fucked up.
The Cinder fucked up. So for
I have to tell you.
yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, who Cinder is. Cinder is a pretty big indie VTuber who has been around for the last like 5-ish years. She is a Hellhound VTuber. Cute model created by Nano. Nano makes very great models.
We love Nano in this house.
We love Nano. We stand Nano. If I could afford Nano models, I would have a Nano model. But I would need to take out a small loan to afford that.
If anyone would love to give me $15,000.
If anyone would like to double that and give it to the next person, which is me, that would be great. Don't worry, Oni. If they double it and give it to me, then we get 2 models.
We'll just split it. Yeah, we get 2 models.
Yeah, we get 2 models. Both by Nano. Robin, no! You are not no.
Robin, I'll give you my business bank account info so you can direct transfer it. I'll talk to my accountant about it.
That's crazy. No, Robin, no. That's not happening.
She's saying no, but you know what? My grandma said never reject a gift.
I'm so stressed.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
I'm so stressed. No, Robin.
Can we talk about how Xboxes are about to cost $600?
And that's why I'm not buying an Xbox.
I'm side-tangenting for a second because I really wanted to get a PlayStation, like another one, because I have the PS4 still that I got for...
That's crazy. I have a PS5.
Yeah, I know you have a PS5. I look at it every day. And I'm like, wait, what is that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, PS5. I don't know why it looks like that.
My PS5 looks like Seto Kaiba. What are you talking about?
It looks like, yeah, it looks like the coat from Seto Kaiba. Seto.
It looks like the coat from Seto Kaiba. Is that what you just said?
Synapses not firing properly. Anyway, so listen, my whole thing is, I already was like, I need to get another game console if I want to like do some stuff, because my console is, you know, it's hella old at this point. I bought it with my first paycheck from my real job out of college. And I was like, I'm gonna finally get this. And then I played Overwatch and like Dragon Age and some other stuff, obviously. But I was just like, bro, $600?
It's...
I think more people are just gonna go to PC.
I think that unfortunately, especially like even with like the Switch too, being the cost that it is, like nobody is gonna buy these anymore. Hi Sumi. Yeah, I mean people aren't gonna buy console anymore. PS6 isn't worth it. The new Xbox isn't worth it. The Switch 2 is not worth it. Plus games. Well, the other thing is games are about to be $80.
Yeah, and then games are $80.
Like I'm sorry, I'm literally not paying for that. I'm going to put shit on my Steam wish list and I wait for it to go on sale and then I buy games. I'm not paying $80. I don't even want to pay $70 for a game. Like what? I don't think anybody. I think PCs are going to be the option until, well, once we can get PC cases again, or not cases. What are they called? Parts. PC parts.
PC part picker.
Well, everything's about to be more expensive. Everything's already getting more expensive. I love the economy.
Yeah. Do we love the economy?
No. It's a lie.
I don't think we do.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Cinder.
Dun dun dun. I think the dun 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 is necessary.
You underestimate the Nintendo fans who praise the console because exclusive good? Absolutely not.
So, no.
Absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure people couldn't even get the, like, people couldn't get the pre-order because it's sold out.
It is. Chilled Chaos actually tweeted about it. He's a big Nintendo, like, fanboy. And he wasn't able to get the Switch 2, and he's actually really upset about it. A lot of people weren't able to get the pre-order in for it. If I will say this, I know for GameStop, if you were unable to get a pre-order on the website, if you literally go into stores, I don't know if that's still the case now, but at least the other day, if you went into a physical store and pre-ordered at the location, then you were able to get a pre-order. But who's to say that they'll even honor that pre-order? Because as a former manager of GameStop, the amount of times...
I was about to be like...
Yeah. As a former GameStop manager, the amount of times that we would take more pre-orders in the systems that they shipped to my store, and my store was the highest volume store in my district, I still didn't get enough consoles. So I would have to call the people who put just the bare minimum, because some people would pay it off on their pre-order, but some people would only put the bare minimum, which is $50. And I'd be like, hey, I can't fulfill this. Here's your $50 back. And it would piss off a lot of people, and then they'd yell at me, and I'd be like, I'm just a girl. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I didn't, like, go pick...
I didn't do this.
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do? Sorry.
Pull a PS4 out of my ass, I guess. I'm not doing that. I'm just a girl. I am! I'm just a girl! No, I think that people are still going to be diehard Nintendo fans and still get the console, but... If
they make Animal Crossing...
it's game over. I need it.
I'll be in.
I'll be in.
Yeah.
You have me at Animal Crossing, but you... Like, I'm sorry. I'm not buying a not remastered version of Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild.
Nintendo! Make Animal Crossing... Newest Horizons, and my life is yours. Sorry, I didn't know, like, what they would even call the next game, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine. It needs workshopping. That was kind of bad, but I'm sure.
You don't like Newest Horizons? You don't like it?
No, I don't. It's really bad.
What do you want me to do? I don't fucking work there.
Come up with
I'll talk to him about it.
All right. You got this. Give them a call. Let them know. You got this.
I think the only contacts I have are,
Do I have any Nintendo contacts anymore?
Maybe Kirby.
I don't think I have any more Nintendo contacts.
That's okay. It's probably better for your mental health.
Honestly, yeah. I'm good. What contacts do I have?
I don't know. Anyways. So
guys, wait. I have a contact for Oni Cake.
I don't know who that is.
It's me.
Anyways.
I'm a part of Oni Cake.
So I will give the TLDR if you want to watch a recap video on YouTube. There are plenty at this point, though I will say that I disagree with using words like psychopath and, narcissist, all those things, because I am, not an armchair psychologist. I have absolutely no, schooling in that field, and I don't think it's fair to diagnose people based off your interactions on the internet. So That's my disclaimer.
Coming from somebody who has a minor in psychology, I agree.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos in psychology, and I'm literally only doing it to for myself, to diagnose myself, which is probably still not good.
Or to diagnose me.
I'm like, hey, I love you. Don't worry.
Aww. Thanks, I love you too.
Shut up. Anyways, so
that's the same response Echo gives me. That's crazy.
I'm sorry. Anyways, so I will give the order of events as I experience them on Twitter.
God.
I see a post. I have notifications turned on for Nano because she's a phenomenal artist and I don't want to miss anything. So I had notifications turned on. I get a notification. Nano, I'm like, oh, what'd she post? She dropped a nuclear bomb on Vtuber Twitter. And it says, discontinuing my work with Cinder. And I was like, is this a joke? Like, did her account get hacked? Like, I think my mind was literally trying to wrap around the fact of, like, the person who basically created the visual of Cinder as we know.
And has made, what, 3 model? 4?
3 or 4. So, just to give a, you know, a brief description, a V artist or VTuber, quote-unquote, mommy, is someone who creates the artwork for a VTuber model. So Nano is actually very skilled in that she often does and can do both the model artwork and the model rigging. And the rigging is, you know, what makes it move. If you are familiar with, you know, any VTubers, if you watch them on Twitch, you'll see that when the person talks, the mouth moves. When they blink, it blinks with them. So that is like a whole separate skill set that not everyone has, and even if they do have it, they can't necessarily do it well.
I am showcasing all the things that my model does, and my model is not anywhere near like the amazing fluidity that Nano does.
Nano does like crazy good stuff, to the point where a lot of people thought that her models were 3D because of how much depth she can get through in her art and her rigging. There's a few artists who are able to do both, you know, very well, but Nano is pretty popular for being one of Shy Lily's main model artists. Another person who does her models is Ryuki. If you haven't heard of them, you should look them up. Their stuff is great, but Nano has done quite a few really large VTuber stuff. They've done Iron Mouse. I think they've done maybe 2 models for Iron Mouse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they've done 2 Iron Mouse. They've done Silver Veil. They've done Zentrea.
Are you pulling up the picture? I know they've done Zentrea.
I'm gonna pull up the picture.
But they've done a ton of like really like basically household names of indie VTubing, and even you know, commercial contracted, you know, VTubing, VShojo, Niji, all that. So my thing is corporate. What are you doing?
I'm pulling up.
You okay?
I'm pulling up a picture of all the models that she's done.
Okay, yeah. So they've done Snuffy, they've done Giwi, they've done Yoshi, Buff Pub, Lich. You know, they've. This is no small potatoes. Okay, they've done some massive people, and they even have people that they can't show, like they're still under NDA, like they're blacked out in the back there. So who knows who those people are? But my whole thing is, Nano is known for creating high quality, very detailed, you know, the perfect balance between 2D and 3D balance models. And they're very good. They're very good at what they do.
But also, like, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, like, the models don't look the same. She makes everyone look different.
No, she makes everyone look unique. You know, you can tell it's her style, quote unquote, right? Like, it's definitely like a nanoless model, like Lexus model, right? But they're not all the same. And some of those, like, further to the left are from longer, like, early on in her career. So you can even kind of see the evolution of her style as she's, you know, gotten more detailed, developed even more, and gotten more comfortable with creating VTuber models, etc. So Nanoliss's, you know, goals for a lot of people, especially if you want to create models, if you want to be a V artist one day, you want to make models for other, you know, VTubers, Nanoliss is someone that a lot of people look up to. So she has a ton of followers. She has a lot of pull in the community. She's not, you know, she's not nobody, like, you know, an ant on the sidewalk.
Definitely somebody who's well known, and if you have been in the space for a while and you at least like follow like a lot of the VShojo people or the bigger indie people, you know who she is.
You know who she is, yeah. So now let's post this Google Doc where she talks about, basically, to sum it up, and I don't want to, like, you should read it for yourself, it's still available. But the TLDR is that she was being manipulated into canceling models on other VTubers, into basically entering like a quote-unquote exclusive contract with Cinder without exclusive pay, if that makes sense. She was basically like, it's like wanting wife benefits without a ring. basically.
Well, and it's like, my thing is, especially also like Oni and I knowing how deals work in that sphere, if you're going to want exclusive rights to have someone's product or to have a license, you have to pay additional money guarantee on top of the money for the actual goods itself. Like, you have to sit here and go, okay, I pay $15,000 for this model. On top of that, for you to be my model mama only, you don't work on anyone else, I have to give you an extra $5,000 a month or something like that, $10,000 a month, because you have to basically make it to where Nano is not. This is what Nano's only job, at least from what we can speculate with how much time and effort goes into it. And if she's not getting enough work, then she can't pay her bills. So, like, you have to be able to compensate to pay for that. And it's kind of tough for one person to do that, in my opinion.
And I don't know what her, like, cancellation policy is. I haven't looked, like, that deep into her terms of service or anything because I can't afford a Nano's
you're like,
model. So I was
like, can't afford that, so I'm not going to look.
I'm not even going to read this. Yeah, so, but the fact that she had already started on some of the artwork, like, she'd already entered into, you know, past the queue saying, like, okay, like, yes, I will work on your model. Thank you for, you know, contracting me. Blah, blah, blah. This is how long it'll take. This is, you know, what we agreed upon art-wise. And she started on it. So she started drawing it and then was, you know, strongly suggested, strongly, you know. And if I were to put a word to it, I would say strong-armed. She was strong-armed a little bit because she was kind of threatening in a sense of like, oh, well, if you do this person's model, then I don't know if I can work with you anymore. And it's
tough because when you're a kind person like Nano is, and especially from the screenshots, it's like, what am I supposed, like, it looked like she was kind of panicking because, like, how are you supposed to respond to that? And literally everything that Nano provided screenshot wise, which this is why I tell people all the time.
She did provide screenshots.
She did. And this is why I tell people all the time, if you want to have a serious conversation that you want it to stay between you and the other person, have a phone call. I don't know what anyone below, like, because both Oni and I are millennials. Like, we are millennials.
I'm a zillennial.
Whatever. But I think that, like, for us, like, Oni and I are very much, hey, this is a serious conversation. Let's get on a phone call. Let's meet at a coffee shop. Let's talk in person. Yes, phone calls can be recorded, but I do feel a little bit better having a phone call. And I also feel that it shows more sincerity behind the conversation versus just typing in a message. But when Nano posted these screenshots to show kind of the conversation between herself and Cinder's manager, Redacted, that's his name, not redacting his name.
Yeah, no, his name is
he goes by Red.
Redacted, unquote. Yeah,
he goes by Red. When she posted all the screenshots, she had a few screenshots with Cinder, but mostly with Redacted. She did redact everyone's name unless they specified that it was okay for her to reveal who she was talking about. Which I find admirable that she went to that extent to basically just tell literally only her side of the story. And Robin, I do agree, like, the biggest thing is, like, people can misinterpret text, whether, like, on how tone is or how it's worded. Like, you don't know how somebody can mean something, because, like, I can send Oni a text and be like, hey, did you take the trash out? And she could be like, oh my god, Ez is pissed, and I'm like, no, I was just asking if you took the trash out. Like,
which, to be fair, a lot of people after this document came out, a lot of people were saying, well, okay, wait, Cinder needs to say something. Like, what is going on? Like, why is Nano saying this? Like, is this what you meant? And, you know, we were, I mean, at that point being like, she's just going to throw Red under the bus, isn't she?
Yeah, that was literally, like, Oni and I, we saw the tweet at the, like, I think the same time, and we were like, hey, did you read this? And both of us, I think, were in the middle of, like, playing games, and we were like, I'm trying to read it between Marvel games, like, I'm trying to read it.
Because I think it was posted, like, pretty late at night. Like,
it was, like, midnight for us.
We were talking about it till, like, 2 a.m. Like, that's how fast things were progressing, but also it was so late that I don't know how many people didn't actually see anything until the next day. And at that point, the day after, like 24 hours, not even, it was like 10 hours had gone by, there was already like three other Google Docs.
More.
Yeah, people were posting the George Bush hearing about the 9/11, you know, situation. They're like, another Google Doc has hit the tower. It was actually
the memes that came out of it were actually really funny. And I think that like Nano coming forward and saying something was very brave of her, because a lot of people, I'm not a huge fan of call out culture, but I do think that there are certain things that need to be said as a, hey, I didn't, you know, feel comfortable with this happened. And she talked about it. And I think that takes a lot of strength from a person to actually say something, to point out where honestly, they were hurt.
The people who are like, oh, she should have had a spine. Oh, she should have said something sooner. She should have took this up, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think that they're not understanding the sort of power, especially early on, the power that she probably felt that Cinder had, that if Cinder was like, oh, this person, they didn't want to work with me, and considering her friend group, she probably was like, if Cinder turns on me and says, you know, something super negative about me to other people that I want to potentially work with, I literally, like, my career will be done.
Well, and
I won't have any way to defend myself.
Yes, and at the time, like, it is unfortunate, because I've also seen this coming from somebody who was a big cosplayer for many years, and I have a lot more friends who were in the cosplay space who had massive followings, and it was always the fear of like, okay, well, I can't speak up to this person because this person has twice as many, 3 times as many followers as me. I'm scared that if they decide to call me out first, say that I did something wrong, spin the story in their favor, I'm going to get kind of shit on. And I think for Nano, there was a lot of probably fear behind that, because Cinder did have 350,000 plus followers on Twitter, which is a lot of followers and a lot of people who absorb her content and her information if she were to make a post saying something. So yeah, I think that that's like kind of one of the hardest things of, you know, who's going to listen to who. And I think that her posting it at the time she did was, you know, like I said, the first thing Oni and I said was, when Cinder responds, which she should do it soon, she should not throw Red under the bus. But
yeah, but she's probably going to.
We were like, we can almost confidently say, just knowing how the human mind works, she's gonna throw him under the bus.
It was like I was looking into a crystal ball.
Yeah, I mean, like, Oni and I were like, and there's the tweet of her saying, I will come up with a longer response later, but from here on out, Redacted is no longer working with me or speaking for me. And then that opened up a new can of worms.
Yeah, so she was trying to, like, distance herself, which I feel like in PR, if you, like, the further you can push yourself from, like, the quote-unquote greater offender, the better, right? So be like, I don't know them. I've never seen that man before.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. I don't know how to read. That works if he's not your boyfriend.
Yeah. It works if the man in question is not your boyfriend. Keep that in mind. Because that was like the biggest thing that literally, like, she posted it. And I was like, oh, Oni, there it is. And her and I just went, we knew that was going to happen. 20 minutes later. I don't even think 20 minutes. I was
instantly.
I was like, there's a response. And it was Van Peaches saying, I remember during a game of Phasmophobia 4 years ago, you mentioned Red's your boyfriend. And that's kind of where shit really hit the fan, I think, of everyone being like, all right, hold up. Wait a second. Like, now you're trying to cover for boyfriend, which I get it.
It was literally like record scratch.
Yeah, it was. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's good. She's taking a step in the right direction." And then it was immediate, like, "What? Hold up, we need more information now." And I think that, like, yes, do a lot of VTubers like have? And I'll say this is not just for VTubers. I think any content creator, because I know so many big cosplayers who they did a lot of cosplays.
Secret boyfriend. Secret boyfriend.
I think that like it's a normal thing because like I have a couple of cosplay friends who were really, really big cosplayers. Some of them did like they did sex work on the side, like that was what they did, and their boyfriends helped out with their content, like managing a lot of the creepy messages that they get, or helping do photography, or just helping with like their merch or their Patreon, whatever it is. A lot of those girls do have boyfriends in the background who do help with that content, which is fine.
They need scary dog privilege, okay?
I mean, literally, which is totally fine. Like, you don't have to indulge your private life in any way, shape, or form as a content creator. Whether it's a VTuber, a cosplayer, a face streamer, it doesn't matter who you are. You don't need to indulge a single real-life aspect to anybody. And I think that it's fine because there's a lot of content creators out there who are like, oh, my boyfriend helps me in the background. Like, I make enough money to pay for both of us. Like, that's, man, I wish. If I could be at that point, that'd be awesome. I'd absolutely make my boyfriend my manager if I had one. Boyfriend and manager.
It's Jericho.
That's crazy. I'm not dating my cat, and if I was, it'd be Howl. Anyways.
The grumpy guy?
I mean,
where is he?
I don't know where he is. I don't know. But I think that when you get put into hot water, can I apply for the position? Absolutely. I think that like...
No.
Oh, never mind. So remember, all applicants for position of boyfriend and manager do have to go...
manager.
Yeah. Do have to go through the council, and the chancellor of the council is Oni Cake. Mr. Cake right here.
Mr. Cake, please. Cake. Mr. Cake is my father.
Anyways,
I'll read all the lewd content from guys and give you only the good ones.
Thank you so much for giving me only the good lewd comments from men. I appreciate that. But no matter if it's good or bad, I want all the lewd comments from women. Give me all the women comments.
I didn't sell her out. I was just tricking you into giving me.
That's crazy. Did you hold on? Pause. Did you get written approval where Oni said she approved? No,
yeah,
exactly.
Send me the screenshot. You know I want to see it.
Give me a Google Docie.
Even if I did, I probably lied.
She did.
Because I wanted to see the bunny.
Anyways, I think that, like, the biggest thing is such a development of betrayal. You don't understand. She has rejected every single person who's tried to date me. She's rejected all of them. And she has every right to. So, this is not about me, guys.
Yeah, I live here. Okay.
For now. Wait, that sounded like I was kicking you out. Until you decide to willingly
tomorrow.
Unless you decide to willingly move out.
Hey, White Zone, do you have a box I can live in?
That's crazy. Anyways.
I'm taking my box with me.
Oh, your PC case box. Go for it. Yeah, just rub off the label so they don't have my address. Thank you. So where the fuck was I? Redacted. So I think that, like, throwing your manager under the bus could have been the right move. Am I, like, aligning with it perfectly? No, but I think that as soon as somebody went, hold up, that's your boyfriend, has been for years, for now be Castle, Oni, bunnies are small and sneaky? What? Oh, be careful, Oni, bunnies are small and sneaky. I'm not sneaky. I tripped over a cord earlier. I almost killed her for it.
It's a super small cord.
I can trip over air, and I told you, and I warned you. You knew. Proof in DMs. That's crazy. I'm checking later, not now. But I keep getting off my thought, and I'm ADHD. I can't do this.
I don't even remember what you were saying anymore. Like, you've gotten so far from. I'm just like, it's been 5 minutes and she hasn't cycled back. Cut this out of the podcast.
Yes,
bro.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was like, what is going on?
Guys, I don't need a manager because I manage Oni and she manages me. We're each other's managers. We're not dating. She has a boyfriend.
Jericho manages me.
That's crazy. He has no teeth. Anyways, I think that, like, while throwing your manager under the bus can work, it being your boyfriend does not help. And that immediately pulled people back into okay, Cinder, we need more information. You've given us a very, very small, like, hey, I'll get back to you. But then somebody poked a hole in that I'll get back to you.
It's because you can't feign ignorance, right? You can't say, in the one hand, I am, responsible for my growth. I am, this great VTuber. I manage all this stuff. I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. And then also say, in the other hand, well, I didn't know anything that was going on.
Yeah,
I gave
that was
everything to him. He was 100%
well,
responsible.
hold on.
I never read any messages,
but
blah, blah, blah.
That was after, because she said that, and that's when we got Van Peaches being like, oh, he's your boyfriend. You've admitted that. And then there was a couple other people who came forward and
There's
were
a
like,
couple other people who said, oh yeah,
I met him at
that's
TwitchCon.
true.
You said, oh, he's my manager, but he's also my boyfriend. Like, there's people that she indulged that information to, which is okay. Just know that if you are trying to keep it a secret, or you're trying to do an apology tour, maybe, like, remember that you told people that. So, by the point, this is maybe 24, not even 24 hours, maybe 12 hours later, after Nano's original post, there's 3 or 4 Google Docs.
Yeah, this was disintegrating fast.
Very quickly. There's 12 Google Docs. I start working, and it was like another Google Doc showed up, and I would text Oni. I'd be like, Pookie, another Google Doc. I would send it to her. So, like, it's,
oh my God.
It's every other Google Doc. Like, I'd see the next one, I'd send it to her. She'd see the next one, send it to me. Like, we were absorbing the content very, very quickly, because we were like, man, this is crazy. So Sunday rolls around.
Every single one of these was too daggone long, okay?
Oh my God, we were reading like 5 to 10 pages of Google Docs, and we're like, oh my God, people. So then, Sunday, we went to our friend's baby's birthday, where the baby went missing. We found him under the bed, whole bit. Anyways, that's another story. But we saw the apology Google Doc from Cinder, and we were like, all right, we're stopping at our favorite sushi restaurant. We're getting some alcohol. We're reading this shit at the sushi restaurant. So
yeah, this was after the child went missing.
Yeah. So literally, we're driving to the sushi restaurant, and Oni starts reading it. And the problem is that the way Oni and I work is we read like 2 sentences, and then we have to have comments on it. We dissect the shit out of everything. And this is not just like with this situation. This is anything. We dissect it. So we end up
cool.
like
I moved 2 feet, and now I need to talk about it.
So like we were talking about it in the car. We get to the restaurant, and literally like Oni's kind of like, I've said so much. I had to pick up the second half of the Google Doc and read the rest of it. We had to tag team this shit to get through it. And
I was like, I can't read anymore. It's
again,
so long.
If you want to read it, and if you don't have Twitter, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the links to all the Google Docs. The apology started out with basically a consensus. Oh God, not a raid. Hello,
what an interesting
Raiders.
Topic to raid on.
Hi, Azu. Thank you for the raid. Hello, Raiders. My name's Ezenel Darson. Most people call me Ez. I'm a bunny VTuber variety streamer, and this is Oni. Oni's normally a girl, but today she's a man. She looks great.
Why did you explain it like that?
I don't know. You're kind of hot.
I'm a shapeshifter.
You're a
You're
Tanuki,
welcome.
so it makes sense. Anyways, this is the first episode of our new podcast called Fluffy Tales, and we talk about Fluff Tales. Fluff Tales.
Ooh.
Hi, Azu. I love you too. But hello, guys. How was your stream? Hang on, I gotta see what Frosty Tool said about you. We're pausing the story for a second. Azu's a Blue Phoenix VTuber who loves variety games and bringing the laughs. From tackling little nightmares to letting chaos reign with friends, they're all about fun and community. When not gaming, Azu's also into art and music. Check out their streams for a good time. Ooh! What were you playing? Playing Osu? Oh God, I went to sleep. What's Osu? Why does that sound familiar? Oni?
Yeah?
What's Osu?
I don't know.
Oh. Azu, tell me about your game. We are currently just kind of yapping about a bunch of different stuff.
Sorry, now we're taking a commercial break.
We're gonna take a little commercial break. I don't know if you guys are gonna add.
Chan. Hi. Nani daisuki?
Chocominto. It's
Mina
off.
anata.
Tsuki-chan.
Hi.
Nani daisuki.
Strawberry flavor. Mina anata. Let's do the next one.
I don't remember the third one's name.
Oh my God.
Do
Just
you?
make something up. Just make something up.
Oni-chan!
Hi.
Nani daisuki?
I want
Oh.
the chicken nugget.
Oh my god. That's why you said make it up. It's a rhythm game where you click circle. Oh, that's okay. I know the game now. That's all I needed to explain it. It's the rhythm game with the circles.
All right.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Synapse is not really synapsing.
Oh god. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so we have been yapping.
Back to your story.
Back to my story. We've been yapping. You are tuning into us talking about the fun VTuber news that we had throughout the month of April. Which by fun, I mean sarcastically. Oni confirmed, fake gamer girl. That's crazy.
I don't know if I've ever claimed to be a gamer girl.
It's fine. I get called a furry e-girl at work every single time I go into the office.
Well, you are a bunny.
Every single time I see him, he's like, "Sup, furry?" I'm like, "What the fuck, man? I'm not a furry."
Thank you guys for hanging in during our ad break. You know, grab some tea, some water, some hot chocolate, whatever fills your cup.
Grab some ice cream. I don't know if that is the way to explain the hellhole. Yeah, Oni and I have a lot of thoughts on it, so if you want to raid and run and you don't want to hear it, you can absolutely dip, but we are just kind of chatting about it and kind of how we feel about it. So
thank you so much for coming, raiders. If you have to raid and dip, please do. Make sure you go piss girl, get some snackies, drink some water, whatever you have to do to reset, recharge. We appreciate you raiding and being here.
Yeah. Okay. So the apology.
Was it an apology?
It was not. It was honestly. It
apology
was the
feels like it, like
thing from an apology.
Like if I opened a dictionary and looked up apology, this Google Doc would be the antonym. Like, there's no freaking way.
Yeah, the quote-unquote apology. It was honestly really rough, and it was kind of like the immediate of, I was coerced into these things. I didn't say or do anything.
Google Docky.
Yes, it was absolutely Google Docky. My favorite part to come out of all of this was the Google Docky with Steve. It was literally complete blame shifting. Like, she absolutely, after being called out, doubled down on throwing her boyfriend under the bus. And
She threw him under the bus and then she backed up and ran over.
It was definitely like, I can't even say it was like a Regina George run over the bus type of thing, because we all saw it coming. Like, we all knew she was getting hit by a fucking bus. Or whatever. She threw everyone under the bus. Nothing was her fault.
She gave all of the
her boyfriend of 5+ years.
Yeah, like she gave all the responsibility of like the offense to, oh, I'm sorry you felt that way.
Which, I'm sorry, when you tell somebody, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Absolutely not. That is a bullshit apology. Don't even fucking start with me on that. That's right. One of the Google Docs was about her cheating. I totally forgot about that. I absolutely fucking forgot about that. Hi, Gamma. That actually slipped my mind because there was so much happening with her apology in the fucking 10 Google Docs that exist. It's literally like, you're gonna sit here and you are going to, number one, cheat on your boyfriend. Yes, we're on Cinder.
Which I will say,
she did admit it.
Past it. She did admit it. They moved past it. They reconciled. It wasn't like she cheated on him and he didn't know.
Yes.
Right.
It wasn't like he was blindsided.
He knew that it happened. He wasn't blindsided. Like, this wasn't like a gotcha moment for him. Okay. So I think that while, you know,
still not great.
I will say the one unfortunate thing about this whole situation has been just the unleashing of Google Docs that aren't even like related, or it's just like
kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think the people who are trying to like capitalize off of the situation, in a sense, it's like kind of icky because
now's not your moment. Literally, now is not your moment to talk about your issue.
so many people were actually hurt by it. Like, they thought that they were friends. They didn't know that they were friends with, you know, Evil Knievel. Like, the op was inside the house. Someone was actively
the calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah, I think they literally had no idea that someone who they thought was rooting for them was actively working against them. And I think that when you think about the betrayal of it all, that's where it's so unfortunate. Like, all of the stuff is bad, you know? And even, I forgot who it was that said it. They were like, it's not even a stranger, like, it's your friend. I think that while you shouldn't do this to anyone ever, I think if it was literally someone that she didn't know, that it would have been more forgivable to the people that she offended, right? Like, obviously we're not in it, so like, whatever. But her friend, she literally said, oh, I guess Nano Arc 2020, you know, 6. Knowing that she had just talked to Nano about canceling her model on her. Like,
it's
like she
Bow Arc 2026.
Yeah, this was the
like
Bow
that
Arc,
was
yeah.
that was like the biggest thing is hi Lachlan.
Oh my god. Why are people rating on
guys, we're talking about VTuber drama. Hello, Raiders.
You know what we should have done? Carrots and crime.
Hey, listen, we can still change the tagline. We haven't made any art yet. Anyways, hi Lachlan, thank you for the raid. My name's Ezenel Darson. I'm a bunny VTuber variety streamer. This is Oni, Mr. Cake. Is his father. Anyways, we are currently talking about...
My name is Oni of Oni Cake. I'm a Tanuki artist, gamer, VTuber. I have my own channel that I pretty much only stream art on right now. Yeah.
She is tagged. Rumi and best friend. We are doing our first... She does live here. She'll live here forever.
I'm in her
Joke's
walls.
on her. She is in my walls. We are doing our first podcast of Fluff Tales, the podcast of a Tanuki and a bunny, and we're very excited, and we decided to talk about the very, very thorough craziness that was April for VTubing. So, because this isn't VTuber drama, but an innovator I follow got exposed by being a terrible person. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened, and I think that kind of going back to the point we were on.
My earlier point, yeah, of like the Google Doc, like apocalypse that's happening right now, where if I even see the word Google Doc, I'm just like, I can't do anymore. I cannot do anymore. Freaking, I can't do it. So, to your point, Matt, competition, friendly competition is great. You should, you know, I thoroughly believe that even having like a quote unquote rival is totally fine and healthy if you're using it to motivate yourself to be better, not if you're undercutting the other person on purpose to like purposely fuck with them. And unfortunately, from everything that we understand, from what all of the VTubers involved have said, from what Cinder herself has said, and from what Nanalis has said, it's just like you clearly were, it was greed. Your own greed destroyed your friendships.
Yes. And so the first thing that I kind of said upon, I think I can't remember if it was right before or right after the apology, everybody has a little green monster. That is not like, nobody is absolved of that. It's how you decide to treat your little green monster, and if you decide to feed into
Unless
it.
you're Beyonce. Unless
you're Beyonce, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. I think that, like, if you feed into your little green monster, then it's going to fester and create poor relationships. It's going to make you a bitter person. And I think Cinder is kind of a perfect example of that. She allowed that little green monster to get fed, grow, become bigger and bigger, to the point where she was actively not just sabotaging her other friends who also got art from this person or maybe wanted to pursue art. And to the point of Bao, the thing that made me so sad was Bao spent months prepping for a debut that she had to suddenly pivot because Nano canceled on her because of Redacted and like him pushing on her. and getting her to end up canceling and ending that relationship, basically. Or not really the relationship, because Bao was understanding, but pushed her to potentially ruin that entire relationship. And she also allowed that to fester anger with Silvervale and with all these other people. And it's like, you allowed these comments where people compared you and Silvervale, which I honestly, I'm gonna be real, I don't see any similarities between Silvervale and Cinder. I just don't. I see more of a similarity between Cinder and Spite. I forgot her name for a second. I see more similarities between the two of them, but it's like, if people are sitting here comparing you guys, then just brush it off. People can, like,
I want to be real. I don't think anybody was comparing them.
Silvervale and
yeah, I don't know.
I was
like looking at it. I think that there may have been one like blip in history where Cinder had like pink ears or whatever, but even
it was
then,
at the very start.
I remember it being like a hot pink and not like a pastel pink.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, as an artist, I totally get that there are people who don't look critically at what they're viewing, and so they just think, oh, I see pink and fox ears and there's fire and that's enough. And they don't really think past that. And so maybe, but I will say from a creator standpoint, I don't think that Cinder was thinking rationally when that comparison like came up, because they don't look alike.
They don't.
Even if you have, fire in your ears or whatever, that's a Japanese thing. Like,
it's
there
not
are
exclusive.
yokai that have, it's not like you didn't invent that, and it's really it's like Demon Slayer trying to copyright the checkerboard pattern.
They tried to do that too,
which they did try to do, which is like
hilarious.
It's really crazy to me when it's something that there's going to be overlap. If everyone's pulling from the same subject matter, you're going to have overlap. That's just the reality of, if we all draw a Pokemon, if we all draw Pikachu, there's only so many ways you can draw a Pikachu to where it still looks like Pikachu. And so you can't differ too far. And so if the general topic was Fox anime girl, then you're gonna, have some overlap. And I totally agree, Gamma. I do think that Cinder, whether she meant to or not, I will say,
I think
you can see something and not think about it, and then several months later think, oh, I could do this. And it's like, you think it's an original idea, but like you actually saw it somewhere. I don't think that's what happened. But I will say, like, if I'm gonna give like benefit of the doubt, maybe it did. Sure. I think it's too many coincidences.
I think the Spite and Cinder thing, there's a lot of coincidences. Like, I'm gonna go with like that casual fit where it's the ripped shorts t-shirt. I think that's too damn similar.
With the hair, the emo eyes, the emo hair, I think that's bang over the eye.
Too similar to be a coincidence. And a part of me, again, this is me pulling information from a decade ago when I was in college of my psychology courses. I think that her wanting to be like, people were comparing me to Silvervale, everyone compared me. I think that's her trying to throw the scent off of her actually taking a lot of inspiration from Spite, who, while she had a smaller following, was around before Cinder was. And she came out with her stuff beforehand, and it was like, Spite just kind of like, she was like, I'm not going to even get involved with this. She made a Google Doc, said she wasn't getting involved with it when she first saw Cinder. And I do agree with you, Gamma, that I think that Cinder will come back. I think it'll be a little bit before she comes back, a month maybe, minimum.
I mean, I hope I was saying this in the restaurant. If I were her PR person, I would tell her to come back after the summer.
Yeah, 3 months.
Let the summer happen.
Take a vacation.
People will forget. If you're not gonna like actually do a real apology and you want to die on this hill, then you go stand by it, I guess. But I don't know. I think even if she does come back, the awkward
It'll be awkward for a minute.
Part will happen. Well, no, the awkward part will happen for her audience when if they didn't observe the drama as it happened.
Yeah.
In April, they will say, "Oh, where is?"
I think that
So
because okay,
they'll
so
be like,
the
"You haven't
thing is,
collabed."
oh yeah, that's gonna be awkward. Because like
She
the thing
won't
is
be able to
that
collab,
there
which
are
is like 90% of her content.
and Oni and I definitely like because we were so interested to see how this kind of unfolded for the Pyro Pups, which my heart genuinely does go out to all of these Pyro Pups because we were seeing some really hard to swallow tweets about people destroying their merchandise and people getting rid of it and people pouring out their gamer subs flavors, and it honestly broke our hearts because it was like the Pyro Pups are hurting. And we should not capitalize or make them feel bad or anything like that. But also at the same time, Oni and I were like, well, hold on, guys. This is stuff that people have poured their hearts into making. It's still good content. Put it in a box for now. Put it away. Or I saw somebody else tweet about it. Donate it. Take your Pyro Pup plushies, your Cinder plushies to children's hospitals. Donate those things. Kids are not going to know what it is. They're going to be like, ooh, puppy. Done. Easy.
Kids not gonna know what it is, and Cinder already got your money. So
yeah, that was my biggest thing.
You're not doing anything by burning it.
Gamma fully agree because Oni and I were on the exact same page. She's already got her money from it. You are wasting your money by getting rid of it when you could either put it in a box, put it away till later, because there are
kids.
But there are still fans out there. Because one thing that Oni and I did, we looked at to see how it changed was her follower count. She did lose roughly 70,000 followers on Twitter, which is a massive hit. That is hard.
Yeah, at the beginning, oh my god.
At
the beginning of the altercation, like when Nano posted the original Google Doc, I looked at Cinder's Twitter page and she had like 340,000 followers, and when I checked right before the podcast, she was sitting at like 286,000 followers. That is a massive amount of followers to lose. But when you have to think about who her friend group is, so like if she's losing Shy Lily, Mutual, she's losing Bows and Treya, she's losing, all of these people who were in a friend group and supposedly rooting for each other, cheering each other on, trying to grow together, and for her to sort of like to betray, she literally is Judas. Like, it's crazy. It's just like, how could you do this to your friend group?
Real quick, pause, Oni. Hello, Raiders. I know I was typing in chat, but welcome. We are chatting about the craziness about spilling the tea, but no tea. You're right. There's no tea on the table. Hold on. Oh my god, how could I do that? Haha! There's tea on the table now. That's crazy. Thank you. Anyways, we're chatting about kind of Cinder stuff. We are talking a little bit about her apology or lack thereof, and kind of we're not like mad at anybody, but just kind of how like things were approached, and how people have been reacting to it. So if you guys don't like the drama, we're like not being mean or anything. I can tell you that much. We're just talking about our thoughts and our feelings, and how if we were in charge of PR, how we would have handled it.
She even lost more followers on Twitch and YouTube than she did on Twitter.
I do not react strongly to very much of anything, so definitely no particular
she lost
hate from me.
Followers on Twitch,
yeah, she lost a ton of followers on Twitch. On Twitch, she had 344,000 followers. YouTube, I think she lost like tens of thousands. Like,
yes,
it's truly insane.
It's tough
how the community is departing from her content.
And it's sad to see it because she has worked very hard to get to where she is, and it's tough to see because I'm sure that this was not something that she anticipated or wanted. Should she have made completely different choices leading up to it? Yes, absolutely. And I think that for her, one of the biggest things was not pursuing the realm of kind of gatekeeping, because saying like, oh, well, I want to have you all to myself, I don't want more models that you've made out there because it will make my model worth less. that's not true. All of Nano's models looked so vastly different upon looking at them in the big lineup that we showed earlier that they don't have any similarities. Like, you can see kind of like the colors and everything. Azu, thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for the raid. And I hope you have a really good night. Please go eat, get some water, and get some rest. But thank you for the raid.
I don't think you have the text-to-speech on this page.
I did. No, I did. It played earlier. I heard it. I said it. It's delayed in chat. But I think that the hardest thing for her was not letting that affect her in that way. And her apology, I didn't like the individual very, very short apologies. Like, especially to Silver, that just felt very disingenuous. A lot of them did. And I think that really what she should have said was, listen, hey, I fucked up. I got jealous of my friends, because it is really hard to hear, oh, hey, I am jealous of my friends. I'm trying to essentially cock block them from getting good art and everything. I'm going to let that impact it. But then collabing with them on the same day is really, really hard to hear for a lot of people. And it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow of like, you literally were actively working against me. And then the next day we were playing games together. But it's definitely, thank you for coming by,
God,
Lethal.
there's another Lethal.
Night. Yes, there's another Lethal.
There's more Lethals.
They're multiplying. But I think that was kind of the biggest thing that she needed to approach, was not letting the jealousy get to her, but then being fake to your friends on the outside to their faces. And it was overall a bad look for her, and she just did not handle that PR very well. The individual apologies there should have been, hey, Shy Lily, can we talk? I want to talk to you. I want to give you a full apology. It should have been private, where she could have said, I've given apologies to these people. They can choose whether or not to accept them. I think that could have been private.
I don't think she could have done it privately, to be honest. I think that she should have published, what her apology was. However, I think she should have said, this is what I did wrong in the situation with so-and-so. I was wrong to do this. She never just said, like, I was wrong. She was like, I was influenced against my will, and he had, like, this crazy influence over me that I made none of these decisions. I mean, none of these decisions myself. It just happened to me.
It turned into definitely a Stockholm syndrome type of thing. It's like, girl, this wasn't it. Like, we tell our boyfriends.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah,
what's happening to me?
We tell our boyfriends everything. Like, we literally do that. And that's one thing that I tell people. Like, if you are going to tell your significant other something about a friend, be prepared for however you word it, because your boyfriend may not like your friend after that. And I think that her blaming it on him, it's like, you tell your boyfriend stuff, and sure, he may have acted on certain things, but you guys do tell each other stuff because you are dating.
Yeah, which
he's not keeping secrets.
Definitely he was overzealous in acting on the information that he got from her. But at the same time,
I think
she knew.
Yes, she definitely knew. And I think that my biggest thing.
She could have at any point said, hey, so-and-so is my friend. I don't want you, don't try to, cancel anything. I want her to succeed. I want her to have this model from Nano because we're friends.
Not the Emperor Palpatine.
Said no. Let the hate flow through you.
Oh my God, it's back. That's the second time.
I love that line.
I literally.
It's so good.
I think my biggest frustration from her entire quote-unquote apology, because I'm not going to call it an apology, was
Google Doc.
Her Google Docie. Was her being like, oh, well, I have such a bad work-life balance, and he handles all the business stuff, and he got overzealous. And it's like, girl, listen, I get it having a bad work-life balance. I have a bad work-life balance, and I'm trying to improve that. Oni has seen me firsthand try to break apart.
Everyone has a bad work-life balance.
Yeah, okay. We all deal with that, but you're not going to sit here and blame it on that.
Yeah, she never says, I'm sorry. Well, she says, I'm sorry you felt that way, which is not the same.
Have a good night, Matt.
Obviously.
I think that, and Addie, I agree with you. It's listening. Bows, I cried. I'll be completely honest.
Vows, I cried. I watched Cindervales, I cried.
Cindervale?
Shy Lily, I cried. Cindervale? Silvervale. Oh no, I said their ship name.
Oh, you said their ship name.
I've read too many Google Docies at this point.
I cried during Bows. Bows was really, really hard because they were all very close and they indulged in very strong friendship bonds, and hearing like the level of hurt that they had, and you can tell how people were hurt, and the responses even on Twitter were very indicative of that. I mean, Buff Pup putting, the shortest words, dude, fuck off.
Fuck you.
Or was it fuck off or fuck you? I don't know. It was 3 words.
It was fuck off, fuck you. The sentiment was the same.
Yeah, and I think that, like, finding out, because literally when we first read Nano's Google Doc, Oni and I were like, who are the people that could have been blurred out? Like, what names?
Like, a few hunches, but again, I try personally to not Batman investigate this stuff. Like, I just don't think it's fair to the people involved for me to be like, I'm,
You're not
putting
Batman.
together. I'm not Batman. I'm not the guy from, what's it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's putting the red string.
Oh,
and he's connecting.
no.
Which, by the way, I forgot whose Google Doc it was, but it kind of read like that, to where I was like, I feel like I can't tell if you have any actual information or you're making like your own freaking conspiracy theory. I think it was Cinders, where I was like, it feels like she's like, it sounds like she was a victim of her own conspiracy theory, and I was like,
it was
wait.
it was Cinders, because she was like, it was about the Silvervale Cinder comparisons, and she was like, oh, when I first wanted to debut, I was supposed to be pink, and then I'd never heard of Silver, and then I saw her before. Yeah, and I was like, I don't believe that, and you know what, maybe you didn't, but also like, it's just, the things correlate too much. It just, you created something that actually nobody had ever thought of, because I never compared Cinder to Silver, nor had I seen anything. And I only was like, her and Spider kind of similar because they're both hellhounds and one's blue, one's red, but whatever. Nobody owns an idea. I'm sorry. Like, there's a ton of dinosaur VTubers that I'm starting to see pop up. Nobody owns that idea. Nobody owns dinosaurs as much as Oni would like to own dinosaurs.
I would love to own every dinosaur that exists. All VTubers who are dinosaur themed, actually, you're gonna come under my label for VTubers now. I'm making a corporation.
Yeah, I mean, literally nobody's original. I will say this: my 2.0 outfit is, in my opinion, very original. Thanks, Oni.
I worked hard on that.
You did. She cooked, guys. Y'all will see it one day. Don't worry.
But my whole thing is, yes, everything is a remix of something.
Yes.
And I think that you can have similar ideas, even like next to each other, and you can appreciate the individuality of the people behind those ideas. And I just feel like what Cinder lost in all of this was that it didn't matter. Like, the marketing happened to work out really well for her, but at the point that she was at, like, in the last few months, the last year, she was so successful already. She did not need to undercut anyone.
No, not at all.
Her community was there. Her community loved her.
You had such a large...
her.
I mean, to me, Cinder was such a large presence. So Oni and I went to TwitchCon. We vended. Hi, Dr. Fennec. We vended at TwitchCon, and we got to see the Gamer Subs booth, which was so incredible. Like, because we got to go to our booth, set up, and then before the show opened, we were like, hey, let's go downstairs while we have time before we have to, be business people and go check it out. And so we went down there, and we were like, oh my god, this looks amazing. It looks so well put together. There's Cinder up there. There's Buff Pup. Like, there was so much amazing art. And she, to me, like, girl, if you're on the Gamer Subs of that big of a booth, that booth was massive. You've made it. You've literally made it.
You've literally made it.
Like, you have done an amazing job.
On the side of a freaking
hey, don't say never. Don't say never.
It's okay. I understand my limitations as a person. My whole thing is just like, to me, the sad part is, especially as someone who is trying to grow, seeing her just like not care.
Stab your friends in the back
about her community. Well,
That too, but just the fact that I mean, that is like the worst offense. But I think for the Pyro Pups,
yeah, like Gamma said, it's literally a Julius Caesar situation.
It's so sad to see like someone that you supported, that whether you gave money, bought her merch, anything, if you just watched her streams, you probably enjoyed her company, enjoyed her content, you looked up to her in some way, and to have it just kind of like come out that she's just like
that she's
a terrible person.
Yeah, that she's kind of been lying to everyone about who she is.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I'm fully capable of accepting that someone could get, lost in the sauce, get lost in their own ambition, lose the plot. I think all of that is, very viable. Like, it's very real. I think that people don't realize that when you are at the top, the pressure must be tremendous. I cannot imagine, truly, how much pressure, like how much money goes through her name being on something, and how much, like, they were saying she made like 20,000 per month just off Twitch alone, just off subscriptions. Not mentioning
that's not donos.
Cheers,
that's no bits, nothing.
And then all of her, stuff that she signed with, all of her merchandise, like it's not including all that. These are like, she was doing huge productions, okay? Every time she had a new model, there was merchandise to go with it. There were, she did like these subathons, like she was doing huge productions.
She did a great job. She's still a good content creator.
She was an entertainer. She was an entertainer.
Yes.
Truly. She was an entertainer. And I think she was absolutely massive. And to see someone be at that level and still lose the plot of, it's about the journey, it literally is about the friends you make along the way, unironically, like
I mean, it's honestly,
and
like,
she forgot that.
Yeah, she did. And I think that's like one of the biggest things is that, for me, I'm a super extroverted person, and I've met a lot of people. Oni has met a ton of people, and it's like, we don't go looking for people to befriend them because they've got a follower count. We look at people and we're like, hey, you're cool. You want to hang out? Like, that's kind of our biggest thing. And we end up becoming friends with some of kind of the coolest people that I think push both her and I to want to better ourselves. We look at other content creators who do these amazing things and we're like, all right, how do I get to that point? We're not taking it and going, you know what? Fuck that person. I'm going to screw them over. Like, we want to get to the point of being better content creators, giving our communities better stuff, and seeing how our friends who are bigger than us, how they do it, and learning from them. And I think that's what you're supposed to do. I don't think that she understood that part of her, like, you don't need to sit here and try to one-up your friends. You want to see your friends grow. You want to see your friends flourish, and you want to grow alongside them. Nobody wants to get left in the shadows, but you've got to look at yourself and go, okay, how can I improve? What can I do to improve my content, to improve my streams, to make things more fun, and continue to have that good content without being upset that your friends are growing past you. I think that for her, she probably didn't understand that it was okay for your friends to be big too. You didn't have to be the biggest person in the room, because at the end of the day, and this is not even regarding content creation, you don't want to be the best person in the room. And I remember being taught this when I was, I want to say college, maybe high school. You never want to be the best person in the room, because then if you are the coolest person in the room, you're like, I don't got to do anything to be better.
You hit your ceiling, bro.
You have hit the actual ceiling, and you're sitting here going, I don't got to do anything to be better. No, you want to pursue other people that are like-minded and go, okay, that person's a little bit, cooler than me. All right, I'm going to work towards, being a little bit cooler. Like, I'm trying to talk outside of content creation, because it's like, you don't want to sit here and get stuck. And I do think that people do get greedy. There are...
Oh, yeah. This is 100% money is the root of all evil.
Yes. I think that she definitely got a little too greedy, and she allowed that greed to consume her, and it's truly unfortunate. And...
But it's not even just the greed. She said it without saying it. Her insecurity whether it was in herself and her following and her character creation, like I feel like she couldn't quite put a pin on it, but I think that she probably is an extremely anxious person. And so because she had so much anxiety, she wasn't able to work through those issues. And because for whatever reason, I don't know what her support system is like, what her friends are like outside of VTubing, like what her family life is like. Because I'm like, I just know that like if I told my grandma like, hey, like,
oh, your grandma would have been mad.
My grandma would have been like, yeah, you're actually going to hell.
You are writing public apologies to all of them. You are buying them all new cars.
You're handwriting all those apologies, by the way.
Oh my God, 100%. Like, my grandma would be the same way. You're handwriting it.
There was no one to check her. She didn't have anyone she could check in with that she felt like she could say, I'm having these terrible feelings about people that I consider my friends, and I don't know what to do with that. And I think that this is the importance of having an actual support system. Everyone cannot be like everyone can't be like your haha friend, like good times friend. Well, sometimes you need a reality check friend. And I think that unfortunately she didn't have someone to go, hey, that's fucked up.
You can't have friends that are only yes men, because it's like, I'll sit here and I'll say something to Oni and I'll be like, man, I'm really frustrated, and she'll listen, but then she'll be like, all right, listen, this is where you're in the wrong. And I'll go, okay, you're right. Like, you've got to have friends who are willing to call you out on your bullshit, to be honest. And I think that's where she can say that Red was a little bit in the wrong, because he probably was sitting here going, yeah, babe, fuck them. We're taking them down. Like he
was like, we're gonna Lockheed Martin drone strike these guys, okay? Whatever you want, babe. This is where the villain, like the villain who will burn the world for you trope gets lost in real life.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can't
I think
do this.
It is a green flag to have a supportive man. It's a red flag to have a man who doesn't sit here and go, hey, babe, I totally hear where you're coming from, but let's talk about it a little bit more. I don't think it's right that you're trying to throw your friends under the bus. And,
I'm going to read this comment from Gamma. He said, I think this also brings my major gripe with content creation. I think monetization of all content is a mistake. Now, I get it. It is good to make money, but because of that, you have people who get greedy, unfortunately, and some become content farms or grift or use rage bait, and Cinder is one of those people. She let her greed hurt her friends and community. And plus, content feels less genuine. Nowadays, it feels like it's all rage bait. So I will say, like, I was talking to my grandmother and my boyfriend earlier about basically how all content feels disingenuous these days, because you can't really tell, like, you don't know the person behind it, right? They can only show you so much without violating their own privacy, right? Like, they're still human beings. They deserve privacy, they deserve private lives, and they don't owe you, 24-hour Big Brother cams into their house and what they're doing all the time. I think that there is obviously a place for curated content, especially if that is your cup of tea. I have some streamers that they literally only talk about cozy games and gardening, and that's it. And obviously there are real life issues going on all around us, and they may be affected or not by those real life issues, but they simply choose to not put that out there for their community to consume because they want to be an escape from that type of stuff. I think that the unfortunate reality, especially nowadays where everyone kind of has the opportunity to be a content creator, because the internet, while it's not free, it's very accessible for a lot of people. And I mean, even Twitch streaming, if you have a solid internet connection and you have games that you Sure. And you have, you know, games that you want to stream, or if you want to talk to people, like, you can grow in almost anything you want. But I think that even with Cinder's situation, and even with stuff that I observe online that I just kind of go, that's interesting, is that it's very easy for people to go, oh, this is popular, this is what's trending, and they decide to hop on, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that those people are disingenuous in what they're doing. If everyone's playing, you know, X game, then if you want to attract more people to whatever it is that you're doing, sure, play X game. I don't think that that's a bad thing. None of this is morality based, so don't take it as that person's evil or that person's good. But I think that there are some people who are like only interested in doing, you know, things that they think are relevant to them or that they want to do. And so they're able to create a niche for themselves and say, well, I only talk about oatmeal and I play this game. And that's all you know me for. That's all I'm going to tell you about myself. And that's all that I do.
That's crazy.
And for some people, that's enough.
That's crazy.
They're like, sure. I mean, I literally follow an account on Instagram that they show like their oatmeal for the day, and it's like different berries and like stuff like that. So like literally that's their niche. They have like 500,000 followers. So I'm telling you, whatever you're interested in, there's probably space, quote unquote, for content if that's what you want to do with your interests. I don't think you should monetize your hobbies.
No.
As someone who monetized their hobby, I deeply regret it, but here I am, and so I'm just like, I have to try to make this work, or else, you know, what am I gonna do?
Scamming people with your Tanuki wares.
Yeah, I'm scamming people into thinking I'm a hot man so they give me money. But my
Wait
whole
a
thing
minute.
is, but my whole thing is, only the VTuber artist. Who's that? But my whole thing is, if you want to create content, if you want to reach and build community, building community is a very hard job. And a lot of people that, even if they gain followers based on skill, they have to outsource community building to other people because it takes a lot to manage people. Managing people is hard, harder than you think.
Yeah.
And having to keep people like in check can be tough, especially with, you know, parasocial relationships, you know, boundaries, all that things. All of it is tough. Everyone wants, you know, a piece of the anime girl pie. And so I think that Cinder, what I look at with a lot of remorse, besides the obvious betrayal, is that she had a community that trusted her, that was rooting for her, that wanted to see her succeed. And somehow it wasn't enough for her, to the point of going out of her way to destroy everything. Because I think that she had to have known, right? That
she knew what she was doing was wrong.
Yeah, nothing that happens in the shadows stays in the dark. Like, it's gonna come out at some point. And even if you are trying to like hide the manipulation, I mean, worst case scenario is Nano doesn't get to work on other people's models, and there's no real explanation why. Yeah. Which puts her in such a I feel like the professional repercussions of her canceling on people would have caught up to her, to where she would have been known as unreliable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would have said, oh, well, she's canceled on me twice now, or I tried to reach out to her, but I can't get a hold of her. She can't set a date, blah, blah, blah. And so I think it would have eventually severely backfired on Nano if she hadn't laid down those.
Well, and it's
that unfortunate Google Doc.
Yeah,
but
it's her livelihood.
Said it.
It's literally Nano's livelihood for her to be, and with the amount of effort and hours you put into your model, which did not have rigging, and still, I mean, it was your first model that you did, and doing all of the art and the layering, like your layers still need to be, like the cutting still had to be cleaned up, and you put 200 plus hours into that, and it's like, if you think about how many hours that is, and if you're getting paid a decent wage, and it's not minimum wage, because you should not be charging yourself minimum wage for the amount of work that you put into it, like, yeah, Nano stuff is worth that with the amount of time she puts into that stuff. And there's no way with that amount of hours that she's, in my opinion, I could be wrong, she's able to do other, you know, a 40-hour work week. It's like, this is what she does to make money, to continue a living, and you're limiting not just her ability to take clients, but her portfolio if you guys decide to part ways a year down the line and she suddenly doesn't have any new portfolio pieces to showcase. Like, you've now limited her completely, and that's not fair to her as someone you called your friend. And that's really tough. Because it's like, you literally called her your friend, and then you tried to kind of fuck over her income source and her ability to gain more clients or maintain clients who were the same size as you, would be bigger than you, are bigger than you, like, whatever it may be. Like, you are limiting Nano's ability to get those things.
I mean, not only that, but then she kind of tried to take credit for it, if I'm remembering correctly. She was like, yeah. And then...
wait. Why y'all aura farming?
Who was aura farming?
Us? Or are you talking
crazy
about...
first time chat, by the way.
Honestly, that's my favorite first time chat now. Hi, Yomi.
I'm gonna screenshot that.
Please screenshot that. I love that. Hold on.
I'm screenshotting. You're going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you... Hang on, I'm pinning that. You get pinned. It's my favorite first time chat ever. Thank you so much.
I don't even care if you meant it derogatorily. It's pretty funny. Anyways,
me watching Invincible. Oh my god, I just watched Invincible for the first time. Anyway, sorry. I'm not deviating. I'm not
podcast.
Next
podcast.
Sorry, I fell asleep for a second. Next podcast.
Okay.
I'm narcoleptic now.
Yeah. Whoa. That was quick, buddy.
Finish your thought. I'm gonna go to the little buns room. Keep talking. Keep yapping.
Hey, Chad. What you doing?
Okay, don't try to riz chat with your man pics.
Leave my man
don't
pics
fall
alone.
for it.
Don't talk about my man pics like that. Good night, White Zone. Hope you have a good eep.
Wait, White Zone leave?
Yeah.
Good night, White Zone. Love you.
She's gonna go piss girl. So anyways, we're probably going to post in the server later, but we need to vote for our next podcast topic. I know Arcane is one of the things that we wanted to talk about, mostly because I had a lot of strong opinions, and I don't have a ton of strong opinions. Everything's just like, that's okay. But Arcane seemed to, like, awaken something in me. So we want to talk about that. She just finished watching season 1 through 3 of Invincible. I know we have to wait another year for the next episode. So there's that we want to talk about. I need to, like, refresh my memory on Invincible a little bit, because I remember the first season and, like, the third season, but I don't remember what happened in the second season at all. You want the next podcast to be about nacho topping? Okay, I mean, we'll add it to the list. I don't know when's the last time I had nachos, but I will give it my honest try. Truly.
Right, hold on, I'm putting
truly,
that.
if it makes it to the list.
Nacho toppings. There we go. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the burrow. 14 Bijunge. I probably butchered that.
Jungie.
Jungie?
Jungie?
Jungie. Jungie. I'm calling you Jungie.
Please tell us how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, Lethal, you're not allowed.
That's not a funny joke. I didn't even gasp a little bit of air.
It's a bad joke. Anyways.
Don't do
that. What were you talking about?
I was talking about our possible topics for the next podcast. And then I was about to just make one final statement to close out, since the Cinder, is...
Yeah, we probably need to wrap up. It's 1, and we have a meeting. Girl, we got a meeting in 8 hours.
Yeah, we have a meeting in 8 hours. So,
yeah.
My final thoughts on the Cinder situation is don't look at gift horses.
That is the TLDR.
As a TLDR, appreciate what you have. Even if you think you don't have much, you probably have more than you realize. Open your eyes to the people around you who are rooting for you and who care about you and who want you to succeed. And don't let the brain worms influence real life decisions.
Quit doing that shit.
Don't do that. Stop listening to those brain worms. I hope you guys are happy and healthy. I hope you get good rest wherever you are in the world. This is Oni, and I'm signing off.
Who is that hot pink-haired twink behind you, and how tight is his pussy? Oni. Save Toki.
That's my husband.
Wait, when did y'all get married? I thought he was just your boyfriend. Oh my god.
You were gone. I think you were in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ceremony.
That is Toki. We love Toki. I'll make Toki a little bit bigger.
Maybe you'll meet them one day.
One day. Jokes on Toki. I will be keeping Toki on this screen. That's Toki. He's just chilling. One day I'll have my hot man model. One day. I'm gonna put Toki back now.
You should double down. That's excellent advice considering the topic. Double down.
No, we don't double down. Learn from Cinder's mistakes. Don't double down. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed our first podcast of Fluff Tales. Sing it.
Ooh.
There we go. We'll figure out how often we're gonna do this. I think it'll be a minute before we do another one because we have kind of a busy month ahead of us. But
I also feel like I need to rewatch Arcane if I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main thing we want to talk about the original podcast idea was Arcane, and talking about what are not hot takes. They should be everyone's take, which is Oni.
I only have correct takes.
Correct. You have correct takes. Do you want to say the one big correct take about our entire Arcane experience?
Caitlin Kierman is a fascist.
My favorite thing she's ever said. Next podcast topic: 100 VTubers versus one gorilla VTuber.
One gorilla.
Bro,
I can take him.
Harambe VTuber win, please. Here in Duckburg, Grace Curse. Oh, Lethal, oh my god, Lethal, you know DuckTales? I'm genuinely shocked and proud.
It's a duck world.
Bro, I'm so proud of you. Holy shit. Hell yeah, dude. But we'll post more about Fluff Tales whenever we kind of like get to that point. But but that'll be it for our first podcast. And it was a little cray-cray, but we figured talking about the events of April in the VTuber world was enough to last us, a little over 2 hours. Crazy. Nothing else happened, I think. I think that was it.
I'm full of a lot of warm air. I gotta let it out, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, my dad and mom had dumb knowledge of cool stuff into my head. You know what? I appreciate your parents. Tell them that a bunny girl on the internet appreciates them, because hell yeah. And the original Hocus Pocus, they're raising you right.
The original Hocus Pocus is the best one.
Oh, we don't talk about the sequel. But we'll go ahead and raid out to somebody.
Who are we raiding?
We've got a couple options. It looks like Spooky and Corey are playing some Pokemon. Don't know what that is, but I was told...
Sounds like a Pokemon ripoff?
It sounds like a Pokemon ripoff. I was told that Spooky ate a rabbit, so I'm not really thrilled about that.
So that's a threat on your life.
It is a threat. So I'm gonna
welcome back, all of my friends in the ad break. Welcome back to the borough.
Actually, I think Otako Panda, he is playing Repo. We might go raid out to him.
Panda?
Yeah, I love Panda. He came and found me.
Did you say Otaku? Is it Otaku?
Otako.
Otako. I was like, what am I hearing?
I'm not saying otaku. Otako Panda. He found me during my Alien Isolation playthrough, and he is a wonderful little bean. So we'll read out to him. Send you guys over.
Moshi moshi.
But thank you guys for coming to join Oni and I. We're very, very excited for... All right, Lethal. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. But we appreciate you guys coming to hang out during this stream, this podcast. I had a lot of fun with it. Oni, you have fun?
In the middle of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I love you guys. I hope that you go to bed.
Honestly, yeah, go to bed. But not until after we raid. We're raiding first. Yeah, please. At least stick around for a burrow raid. We're going to send everyone over to Panda. He is a pretty cool guy. So, I hope everyone has a good night. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Power Wash Simulator. I believe Oni is streaming art tomorrow, possibly? Are you streaming tomorrow?
Possibly.
Possibly. We'll see. I gotta make her stream. Otherwise, she's like...
wake up at 9 a.m. for a meeting.
Sorry for scheduling a meeting at 9. My bad.
Lazy.
Listen, technically, I didn't do it. She did it. Anyways. Blame Toki. Toki's behind me. Blame Toki. Hi, Alpha. I saw you lurking. I'm glad you got to hang out for a little bit, but I hope everyone has a great night. Get some rest, get some water. If you have work tomorrow, I wish you luck. Hopefully you're getting enough sleep. And we will see you guys next time. Bye! Fucking weird ass. She go, goodbye. Alright, we're gonna... Nah, he is a red panda. I love this guy. What is that song? I don't know why it's Beetlejuice. It's weird. You freaky. Yeah. I was like, Lethal, you're really gonna fucking leave right as we're raiding? You're an asshole. That's not raid etiquette, my guy.